Welcome back to the channel, lads and ladies, and welcome to the Shotkal Dalet. Dalet being the rough equivalent of the letter D in the Hebrew language. Very interesting, the Hebrew alphabet. In fact, that's where we get our term alphabet, aleph and bet being letters in the Hebrew language. And of course, this written language is much older than the Arabic numbers or letters we use in English today, and much of that having inspired our alphabet. The Dalet being the D, so this would be the Shotkal, the whip D. And we are definitely going to whip out the D on this one. So, with that, enemy sniping at long range looks to be something firing APDS. Maybe. My aim, kind of potato. His not at me, so even better. We make use of the stabilizer to fire on the move there. We get a nice hit into him, critically damaging his vehicle. As you see from that engine fire, he is trapped in place, and we are putting round after round of darts into him, and these not Nerf darts, they are hitting him quite hard. But it turns out that was the... oh geez, what is it? It's that light chassis German high tier light tank. I can't remember what it's called. I think it has a... does it have a 105 or a 90 mil? But it fires APDS, and it can be a little bit scary if you don't park out in the open and just start opening fire on a column of enemy tanks. So, top tier, or I should say high tier. Here we are in an 8.3 match. Is it so scary? You know, in the Shotkal Dalet, not so scary at all. Now, I've already talked about this tank, and I just unlocked the Mitsubishi T2, and I have yet to fly it in a match. It took so long to grind for that thing. I don't want to be disappointed by its stock performance, so I'm going on to other things for now. And I thought, why not grind out a little bit of my Brits? And of course, the Shotkal Dalet, a fantastic tank to engage in that endeavor with. Yes, it has a little bit better mobility, maybe just a tad, than your Centurion Mark 10, and at an 8.3 battle rating, that's going to put you at slightly behind other tanks along the MBT line of thought, especially with regard to the Germans and the Americans with their MBT KPZs and such. However, at an 8.3 battle rating, and with its fantastic APDS round out of that 105 mil, you can definitely do some work. And one of the main things about the Shotkal is, number one, it's a point and click tank. There are very few things that you have to aim for weak spots at that you can face, and with its smoke dispensers, you see us putting it to action here, quickly covering a smoke screen, and its stabilizer that allows us to be on target at all times. It really is a very effective tank for blitzing into the enemy and dealing some serious damage head on. Now, on the back foot, you're going to be at a disadvantage. The Shotkal is not able to reposition as well, so you need to pick your avenue of attack carefully, and in this match, we just happen to be at the right place at the right time, and with that cheeky shot between the rubble and the tank carcass, we take down another enemy vehicle for our second kill, calling artillery down on the point to just harvest us some score and maybe even deal a little bit of damage as we peek again through our little loophole there. We are very aware that we have the potential to be flanked here from the rear, and so we're smoking up this side alley and also pressing forward to see what we can get No enemies visible there, which is always helpful, and we decide to do a little bit of a flank. And this is something that I've picked up as my go-to strategy when I'm getting a feel for a vehicle, especially a medium tank, and the shot cal is pretty much a perfect medium for the British. As a Brit player, you should be well familiar with not being the fastest tank on the field. Now that shot into the mouse crippled his main gun, putting a round into the cannon breech, and our second round takes down the driver in the hull and also sets an engine fire. And he is angled very nicely here to avoid getting penned by our rounds. So our only real chance is to go for the front of the vehicle, where we're only going to damage the driver. So while that driver was being replaced, I went ahead and tried to put one in the side of his turret. No success. I think we're going to go one more time for a turret shot, just in case we can sneak one in there and disable the other cannon breech, but there's no need, as the second fire we set burns him down. It usually takes a bit longer for a mouse to burn down, but maybe all that crew damage ended up stacking up. As we're coming around the corner, a nice third-person shot straight through that M60, that's an M48, German variant, takes him down immediately. That shot into the Tiger II took out his gunner and set a fuel tank fire, but he still has mobility, so he's able to take cover, and he did a very good job of using the wreck of that M3 to, or that might be I think it's an M3. Anyway, he did a fantastic job of taking cover there. That shot bounced off his well-armored mantlet, showing that the Tiger II-H is by no means an obsolete tank. I think that was a 105. Those have been extremely popular lately for obvious reasons. 105 getting a serious buff by having its useless starter APAG round removed, so that its stock round is the very effective APAG that has rather good normalization for its battle rating of 6.7, which has been reduced. And beside the fact that it gets to stay in the game, it has become the go-to heavy tank for the Germans. And now, what is definitely not a heavy tank, the Saddam, as we do some damage to his gunner. Yes, I said that. And opening up with what should be at least 150 cal mounted on the roof doesn't seem to punch through, so we hit him with another dart. R.I.P. Pasta Boy. Rest in pepperonis, my friend. And now we see something I've talked about in a previous video, the disappointing vertical step of both the T-54 you see off to our left and the shot cal itself. And that's going to be just about it for that match. We just pushed into their spawn, and I didn't end up picking up any more kills, just hanging back and watching the enemy team flounder for a couple of minutes. Now, a nice, beautiful cinematic peek at the shot cal. I really think it is a gorgeous tank. It is all about that booty. And like the tank mommy herself, the shot cal has that big old diesel engine just pushing those hips wide there on the back end of the tank. It is a really good looking tank. It almost evokes that sense of the M60 when it comes to the engine covering, and that is a look that I definitely like. And with the angular features of the Cent Mark 10, it's a gorgeous vehicle, it really is. And then add on all of those machine guns to the top. That is America approved solution to enemy infantry fire. Of course, with we'll call them infantry, but individual fighters being one of the banes of Israeli tank design, even able in some cases when firing from rooftops or ambushing with RPGs to take down vehicles like the Merkava, even the modern versions of Merkava, which, by the way, where's my Merkava? I shelled out for shot cal. You better believe I'll shell out if a Merkava comes to the game and ends up being a premium. And honestly, with rank 7 tanks in the game today, I would not be surprised to see a prototype Merkava or an early version become a premium in hopefully the American tree. But if an Israeli tank tree comes to the game, or with the idea of a sub-tree, as you can hear the European Canadian define, where it's sort of like helicopters, you get to say rank 3 in the American tree, and you can start unlocking regular tech tree Israeli tanks. I feel like that would be fair. America has been the closest and most reliable ally to Israel, although historically they have been more reliable as an ally to us than we have been to them, to our shame. And yet you see a lot of American tanks in the hands of Israelis being sold or contracted out to them, and yet Israel taking whatever they can get. You see here acquiring a Centurion model and making it their own, and then of course later on in their history they definitely got involved in producing their own local designs and fielding those. And of course, I've talked about it before, there are few nations more interesting in modern war, I say there are none, than the Israeli nation. So that's just me. Now we've found our second target after we just completely deleted that one enemy. It is the shotcal delete. And again, on the move, always on target with the 105. If we're facing in the general direction of the enemy, we're gonna put a dart into him, and we got lucky enough, even though we were off a bit on our aim, to slide into some ammo with our nerfy dart there and take down that ZSU, which can still be a deadly vehicle, even though it has been up battle rating to the point where it doesn't just destroy matches. Another enemy vehicle from third person view, just one round shreds everything inside that tank. Now recently APDS got an increase to its performance, but that's not going to save us from that RU-251. So there's a quick look at what I've been doing lately, and I've also been making it a point to play a lot of low tier just to have fun with that, because I really think that's where the fun is in War Thunder, and I'm sure I'm not alone on that one. Anyway, Shotcal, very fun to play, and high tier, not quite so scary as I've made it out to be in the past. Maybe I'll actually enjoy playing a few more matches. Anyway, War Thunder continues to add new vehicles, and so it's nice to find something fun at high tier, and I will catch all you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.